In January of 2020, the DPRK released an announcement that, due to a newly discovered virus spreading through China, the country would be completely closing its borders as a temporary measure in order to prevent infection. For those of us working in travel to the country, this was, understandably, a bit of a problem. However, it was not without precedent. During the Ebola outbreak a few years earlier, the DPRK government made the same decision, closing the borders for 4 months until the spread was under control. This would be much the same. But weeks became months, and months became years. On a personal level, I left Beijing, choosing to move to Mongolia and start this YouTube channel. But finally, after years of waiting, the good news began to trickle out from the country. Although plans to reopen the DPRK fully to travel aren't quite there yet, the government has reported its plans to open up a small corner to foreign visitors. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So, if you're looking to head into the DPRK, then keep watching, and I'll tell you what you might be able to expect on a visit to this far northern corner of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. This is Visiting Samjiyon. If you want to find out about the history and provenance of the region, check out the Samjiyon edition of my DPRK Cities series. In this video, I'm going to look at what you can expect from a couple of days on tour in the region. Starting from down here, Pyongyang, the capital of the DPRK. Now, once again, as I'm writing this, the details aren't too clear about what will and won't be open to tourists, but it's likely that either groups will transit Pyongyang or the capital itself will be open to foreign visitors. In which case, check out the Pyongyang edition of this series to see what to expect there. From Pyongyang, we'll catch a domestic flight from the Sunan International Airport and make the journey over the so-called Land of Morning Calm before landing at Samjiyon Airport, where our journey will begin. During our descent, you may have spotted the silhouette of the thing that makes this region famous. Paektusan, or Mount Paektu, the highest peak in all of Korea, and a site revered by the Korean people for thousands of years. Once we've landed, we'll make the 90-minute drive from Samjiyon to the foot of the mountain, passing through the thick pine forests the region is known for, before the woods give way to a more mountainous and rocky terrain. Once we reach the car park, we'll have 2 options to reach the top: a 45 to 60 minute hike, or 5 minutes on the intriguing looking funicular railway. However we decided to get there, we'll finally reach the caldera of the mountain, a stunningly picturesque view of the surrounding region, punctuated by the crystalline waters of Lake Chon, or Heaven Lake. A visit to Paektusan is an important part of life in the DPRK, and during our trip in the region, we're likely to see many young pioneer groups and older groups of soldiers, friends, or work colleagues making their trip to the area, not only to see Mount Paektu, but to visit the many monuments and revolutionary sites that pepper this historic area. Heading down the mountain, our next stop will be the Paektusan Secret Camp, a former military base near Mount Paektu sitting deep within the thick forests of the Sobeksu Valley. This valley served as the temporary headquarters of the anti-Japanese Korean revolutionaries plotting to overthrow their foreign occupiers in the 1930s and 1940s. In September 1936, the decision was made to centralize command of the independence fighters, and so a new headquarters was built here, due to the natural landscape making it easy to defend and difficult to attack. The Paektusan secret camp is made up of numerous log cabins, serving as dwellings, offices, and storage buildings for the military. However, one of the most important buildings on the site sits below the aptly named Jongilbong, or Jongil Peak, named for the official birthplace of the leader Kim Jong-il, in a modest wooden building in a clearing beneath the mountain. We'll join other locals in paying a visit to the camp, now turned into a museum with everyday items, rifles, and other equipment laid out for posterity, along with the many trees, now shielded by perspex, which display carvings from members of the Korean Revolutionary Army. However, time is short, and once we've wrapped up our visit to the Paektusan secret camp, we'll shift from history to nature as we head towards the Rimyongsu Falls. Arriving at the waterfall, we'll have a chance to enjoy this wonder of nature as we watch the water cascading seemingly from nowhere into the river below. A small pavilion stands above the waterfall, providing a beautiful backdrop. The entire waterfall system itself is over 50 meters high, and during the winter, the entire system freezes. However, some water still makes it through, trickling between the icicles as it falls. We won't be alone on our visit, as the area is popular with locals for picnics and outdoor activities. However, with our adventures for the day at an end, we'll make our way back to the hotel in Samjiyon City, ready and waiting for more excitement tomorrow. This morning, we'll head out bright and early for a full day of exploration, starting with the new and improved Samjiyon City itself. Until 2019, Samjiyon lacked city status, instead being a county with a township at the centre. Check out my DPRK city planning video to find out the difference. However, 2019 saw a huge remodelling of the entire area, which was inaugurated in December of that same year, with a grand fireworks display and huge celebrations, along with Samjiyon officially becoming a city. It's likely that any visit to the city will include a tour to show off the new facilities of this bright, new urban conurbation. In the centre of the city stands a grand bronze statue of the General Kim Jong-il, similar to the statues of the President Kim Il-sung and General Kim Jong-il that you'll see in most cities across the country. However, due to Kim Jong-il's personal heritage in the region and close connection to the area, his statue stands alone in the heart of this city. Once we've wrapped up the city tour, we'll head out east, leaving Samjiyon once more in search of the nearby Lake Samji and the tourist highlight which stands on its banks. Lake Samji plays host to the enormous Samjiyon Grand Monument, a huge complex comprised of a statue of a young then General Kim Il-sung in his revolutionary battle dress, clutching military binoculars. He is flanked by a large white marble statue of a military bugler, surrounded by a crowd of smaller statues depicting revolutionary soldiers charging into battle. On the opposite side of the monument, there is a large red torch symbolising the Juche idea, the nation's guiding ideology. The Samjiyon Grand Monument marks the site where the Korean Revolutionary Armed Forces stopped to rest and recuperate on their way to launch a famous and successful attack against the Japanese garrison in the nearby village of Pocheonbo. The vast lake and silhouette of Mount Paektu in the background provide the perfect backdrop for this monumental monument. As the afternoon approaches, we'll head to our final appointment, a visit to the Samjiyon Schoolchildren's Palace. Originally built in 1974 and now boasting a floor space of more than 7,700 square metres, this distinctly triangular shaped building serves as a centre for extracurricular activities for local youths as well as visiting groups. The facility is home to an auditorium, gymnasium and various specific rooms for arts, sports and even video games. Local children visit the building after school and in their free time to engage in hobbies, hang out with their mates, or study in the subjects they want to excel in. Schoolchildren's palaces are commonplace across the DPRK, as well as most of the former Soviet Union, as a place for young people to congregate and engage in activities. As we depart the Schoolchildren's Palace, we'll bid farewell to Samjiyon, as we make our final drive out of the city and back towards the airport for a flight south and a return to the nation's capital, Pyongyang. Samjiyon and Paektusan are really worth visiting, not only for the fabulous natural scenery and the incredible Mount Paektu, but also for the history which makes this region so important to local people and national history. Once you return to Pyongyang, if you have a chance to chat with a local on the Pyongyang metro, or whilst shopping in a local department store, to be able to say you visited Paektusan will be sure to pique their interest. Of all the places to open up first, Samjiyon and Mount Paektu are certainly highlights. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and have learned a little something about Samjiyon and Mount Paektu. I say it in every video, but I really must give a shout out to my supporters on Patreon. Without their support, these videos and this channel overall, to be honest, wouldn't be possible. So if you've enjoyed the video, or you've enjoyed anything I've made over the past few years, it really would mean the world if you could check out the link in the description and help to support DPRK Explained. As always, if you want to listen to the Korean music in this video, I'll link a playlist from my DPRK Explained music channel in the description. Please go and subscribe over there, and actually keeping an eye on the uploads on that channel is usually the best way to see if I've got a new video coming out imminently. So go and check it out. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
이 봉이 있어 아름다운 이 나라의 현재와 미래는 더더욱 밝게 빛나는 것입니다. 눈 속에서도 얼음 속에서도 세차게 태동하는 조선의 봄.